Good evening, everyone. Happy to be here, happy to be sharing this time with you. Now, if you are here early, we're just logging on just to check everything, technical stuff and all of that. So just to make sure everything is okay, but we will be starting the broadcast at the top of the hour. All right, I shall see you then. Welcome, welcome. Sue, can you hear me, Sue? Just want to make sure that you know, we have sound. I know I can see myself there, which is great, but do we have sound? Thank you. I can't, you know, I'm not sure how to do that, but I'll be doing a lot of talking, so very little keystrokes during that time, yeah? I know, it's really, I've got a really loud keyboard. I know everybody says I type really loud, but it's not that. Really loud keyboard, don't know why. Okay, great. We'll get started shortly. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate that. We shall start up in 2 minutes. Why is it that when the screen freezes, it always freezes with your face all twisted? It never freezes when you're looking okay. It just makes me laugh. Okay, I think we're ready to get started. Okay, let's get started, everyone, with typical Big Ben punctuality. All right, so welcome to Boomer High. It's Marianne Herbertson here, of course. I live in the United Kingdom. We could be being joined by Patrick shortly. Patrick Batty, as you know, the founder of this program. Patrick's actually on a 2-week vacation. He's having a wonderful time. Of course, he was at the Las Vegas event, and from then they've gone on for a 2-week vacation. He's currently in, well, around the Grand Canyon. He's not in the Grand Canyon. He's around the Grand Canyon, but he is planning on hopping on. But what he did say to me earlier was that the signal there is really bad. So if he doesn't turn up, then we'll know why. Okay, but he'll be sending us lots of pictures. So do keep in touch and, you know, sharing all his excitement. He's planned a really wonderful, really exciting time away, all sorts of different things that they're doing, which is absolutely great. Okay, so bear with me, please. Hello there again. Sorry about that. Now, if I do disappear temporarily, don't worry about it at all. I will be back straight away. Okay. My computer logs me out if I don't remember to tell it I'm still here. And I still, I'm not the most technically challenged person, but I still haven't found out how to change that sleep time. So do forgive me, but I'll be here. Okay. Right. So today's topic is going to be on something that, well, it was really weird because I revisited a training that I'd done some time ago, and I revisited it just to refresh my mind, and it was about this particular subject. Then over the weekend, I was kind of, looking through my Facebook profile, and I saw a young couple, the Power Couple. They have their own show on here as well. Do catch their show. If you need a shot of energy, that's where you can get it from. They're amazing. All right. They talked about this as well in one of their videos. And then this morning, when we jumped on our coaches, iPass coaches training call, that was one of the things that came up again. So it sort of seems to be a topic that's on a lot of people's minds. And then I had a conversation with this lovely gentleman who's just started. He's from Australia, and it was so refreshing having this conversation with him because he just wanted to know how to make it work, full stop. Right. And I was able to share with him some of my experience, some of the lessons I've learned. They say that there are two ways to learn your lessons. One, to make the mistakes yourself, so your own mistakes or your mentor's mistakes. Right. And trust me, it's a lot less painful and a lot less expensive if you learn from somebody else's mistakes. Right. And this gentleman was in absolutely that place. So I thought I'd share all of that with you today. And, I'm not going to just keep it on the negative side of what doesn't work, though that is really, really helpful sometimes. But I'm going to give you the solutions to that too. All right. So I'm going to move on quite quickly. Rewind and watch if you miss anything, and the comments I will come to after all of this, and I'll answer the comments at the end. Okay, so in other words, I'm going to go into full flow now. Right? Okay, so what is this thing that could be killing your income? Right, you're doing all the marketing, you're doing various things, you're getting leads, etc., but your conversions are not happening. They're really low, and you need to look at that. And there's a lot of effort and money going into your marketing, but you're not seeing the relevant results. What could that be? And I knew about this a long time before I actually bought that training. But that training gave it a name. It gave, it explained it thoroughly, and I'm going to share that with you today. And basically, it's called a mismatch, right? A market to message match error, right? Again, I'll say that again. It's a market to message. There's a problem with your market to message match. Okay, what do we mean about that? Now, I'm going to be giving you some pretty extreme examples, but they're just to illustrate my point, right? Let's say I wanted to buy a cake. Okay, I always want to buy cakes, right? So let's say I wanted to buy a cake, and I saw this advertisement. I looked for cake shops online, and I saw this advertisement, and it said, best cakes here, come here to buy your cakes. And, it listed all the kinds of cakes, and I saw exactly the one I wanted, or that my interest. So off I went to this shop to buy this cake, right? But when I walked into the shop, I found that they actually sold, I don't know, fishing tackle, not cakes, right? Am I likely to say, oh yeah, well, since I'm here, let me buy some fishing stuff anyway, or something else, right? Now that's a far-fetched, wildly exaggerated example, but you get my point, right? What you are selling has to be matched to the market you're selling it to, Right. Now, let me come back to some examples that will actually apply in our case, right? We are selling to the make money market, right? Learn how to market online, affiliate marketing, learn how to blog online, all of that kind of thing. That's the kind of market that we're marketing to, right? And what are we marketing? We're marketing our products, the Empower Network products, right? So if your message actually says things along the lines of, let me think, I've seen some of this advertising around, say it says free, join free, look at all my information free, etc. You will get tons of people applying for that, tons of people opting into that. But then when it comes to actually paying for something, that group of people is going to have a very, very low conversion rate. Okay, you see what I mean? So to me, it's a waste of time to be advertising, join this free, etc. It takes money to make money. So I primarily want to focus on the type of person who is business minded enough to realize that and is going to take action about it. Okay, now I know that if you have a vast number of free people coming in, a lot of them will be tire kickers, but you will get, a fair number, or where you get a number of them who will go ahead and they like what they see and they will buy, right? Which is why a lot of people do it. But honestly, as a beginner, try and steer away from things where you are what I call bait and switching. Okay, so that's not a good way of marketing, and it actually makes it more difficult for you to build a brand and to have people develop that trust factor in you. Okay, so that's the one thing. Be very aware of the type of person you want to attract. See, here's the thing. Very often when we start, we are either still employed or we've just come out of employment and we actually still have that employee mindset. Okay. However, what you have to realize is you're now an entrepreneur. You are building your own business online, right? And it is up to you to choose who you want to work with. Don't be desperate. Don't just pick and choose everybody. Trust me, that is a painful route to go. Okay, so make sure you know the kind of person that you are targeting, right? For example, there's a marketing saying, a popular marketing saying, which goes, if you're marketing to everybody, you're actually marketing to nobody at all, right? What does that mean? Right. Now, let's look at myself, okay? I specifically wanted to just talk with, or primarily talk with, people like myself, okay, mature professionals who've had, high-end corporate jobs, but are sick and tired of that kind of environment. And now we want to be doing this. So we have all the business mindedness, we have the discipline, we have the life skills and the life knowledge. The one thing we're lacking in is actually how to transfer all of that online, right? So most of you baby boomers will be in that same category. And so I market very, very distinctly to that crowd. So all my emails are talking about that. My blogs are talking about that. My, oops, give me 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. I'm just going to check with Sue that everything is all right and that, she can hear me okay and everything else. Sue, are we still all okay? Give me 2 seconds. I don't want to be chatting away to myself here. I'm always so much more comfortable when Sue is around. Because I know she's got her finger on the pulse there. Okay, so hopefully I'm back, right? Okay, so I was going to say, you know, going back to this, I forgot to keep the little keyboard alive here, so my apologies for that. Yes, so yes, you know, so what I do in my marketing is I'm very specific. My blogs talk to mature professionals, you know, all of that kind of thing. And basically what happens is when somebody like you comes along and reads your blog or reads your email, etc., they think, hang on, there's a person who I know is going to understand me, so I will go talk with them. Right. So you're being very specific with your marketing, and that actually brings a better set of results. All right. That's what I found. My team is full of mature professionals. And, you know, we have everything in common. We talk to each other in the same way. And I'm not purposely excluding anyone. I mean, I have 23-year-olds, 25-year-olds in my team, but they have a very mature mindset and they're prepared to work. Okay, so that's the kind of thing I mean about targeting your market. And I'll come back to you about all of this. We talked about don't bait and switch, right? The cake scenario. I gave you that. Don't be desperate. You know, I frequently turn people down. Why? Because I know that now I know. When I first started, I didn't know this, and I accepted them, and they would be the worst nightmares to deal with. Because here's the thing, right? With all the best will in the world, some people have the wrong expectations of a home business, right? Maybe they've seen other things online where it's been marketed incorrectly, etc., etc. That's what they expect, you know, to become a millionaire overnight. Do nothing, make money, right? That's a kind of false concept, and that's the kind of concept that's given our industry the kind of reputation where if you tell somebody that you're a marketer and you're marketing online, very often they look at you with, you know, how could you do that? Isn't that yucky kind of thing, right? Whereas truthfully, if you look at it, marketing online really is going to be the thing that, you know, gets the economy flowing again. In fact, it's already been said that the amount of marketers now, online entrepreneurs who are creating an income that are then spending that income in different economies is the thing that's actually bolstering some economies. Okay, I mean, I don't know if you heard, well, you must hear, and I don't want to dwell on those things because they're so depressing, but you know, there's not a day goes by that we here in the United Kingdom can turn our TV on without hearing that some big organization is shutting down with the loss of thousands of jobs and thousands of high-end jobs as well, you know, like our oil rigs. You know, some of our oldest and our most popular oil rigs are closing down with loss to those workers of their jobs, their livelihood. Those people earn a ton of money, right? They're going to lose all of that. You know, it's just a dreadful situation. One of our online stores, supermarkets, not online, offline, high street supermarkets, they are closing today, 43 of them closing today with a loss of 2,000 jobs, right? All of that is a situation that I don't want myself to be in. You know, I want to have full control of what I am doing, my own income, etc. And if I have to work my tail off, right, to get to that place, right, it doesn't matter what I have to do. My why is strong enough to make it all worthwhile, right? And that's how you need to look at this. You know, this is your escape route, right? So learn the things properly, learn the ropes properly, apply it, and then it will pay you back handsomely. Okay. And like I said, don't be desperate. You know, I have now learned to question people about their motives, to actually ask them, you know, what are your intentions? How do you plan on getting there? And if they are unreal and I can't kind of correct that, I will say, "Well, I don't think you're ready, you know, go off, look at more information, come back and talk to me later." And I'll give them the worst case scenario so that, you know, it just gives them a realistic view of building a business. And it's not just online, it's building a business anywhere, to be honest, you know. So don't be desperate to take somebody on, because if you do that and they join you, they will prove your worst nightmare, because you will not be meeting their expectations and you will be the one to blame. Okay, so be careful about that. On the other hand, don't be judgmental, right? I don't kind of rule, you know, I'm very skillful now of sifting and sorting. And the most unlikely people will surprise you by hitting a home run every time. Okay, so, you know, build all of that. And that's why the coaches come in so handy. We know what we're doing there, you see. And then again, I want to reiterate the kind of message you put out in your marketing. Avoid words like free, no work required, make easy money, you know. And I'm sure I'm going to be irritating a lot of the big marketers, you know, by saying things like that. I'm not meaning to kind of uh, you know, pick on anybody. I certainly wouldn't do that. But my whole thing is, some people can do that because they then got the proof and the backup and the social proof, you know, shiny cars, big holidays, etc., to show, so that people are attracted anyway. But when you're first starting out, and if you don't have that kind of proof, don't attempt to, you know, give out the kind of message that is attracting the wrong kind of person. You're only doing a lot of hard work for no real gain. Okay, that's the thing. And the thing is, you know, the other thing is, if they do join, they'll be the first ones to quit on you as well. Okay, so just be aware of that, right? So, and you know, these are the things that this is the market to message mismatch, if you like. All right. So be very, very careful that your market to message is always a perfect laser targeted match. Okay. If you take anything away from today's call, that would be my main thing. I do have two more things that you know, could actually kill your business dead. Okay. And then we will talk about the solutions, right? So the other thing that you know, will make your life a lot harder, and it will take you longer to succeed, is what we call the shiny ball syndrome, or I actually like to call it the butterfly syndrome. And why the butterfly syndrome, right? It's the thing of losing your focus. Okay, you know, you're working on this, you're looking at this, you're following things through, and then suddenly something crops up that you think, oh, that looks better, and you're off. And why I call it the butterfly syndrome is we had the most gorgeous little Scotty dog. Okay, and people told us that Scottish Terriers are particularly difficult to train, and I never believed them, right? And this one had the attention span of a gnat. Okay, so I'd be there training her, and I'm new at training dogs. We've had German Shepherds, and you know, all beautifully, beautifully trained, right? But this little Scotty of ours, you know, we'd say her name was Holly, and it would be sit Holly, and well, Holly would sit if she wanted to. But you know what? We'd be out in the park and it would be sit Holly, and then a little butterfly would fly past in the distance and Holly would be gone. You know, and all that work that we put into getting Holly to the point where she could sit was lost. She'd completely forgotten all about it. And you know, that's a really long-winded way to find your success, because what happens is, again, it's okay for more experienced people. They shouldn't really do it, but you know, more experienced people, are looking for multiple streams of income, etc. And they do it because they know the technology, they know the basics. So all they have to do is duplicate it there, right? Whereas for you and me too, that's why I don't move, and I'm fairly successful. Not as successful as I'd like to be, but I'm definitely getting there, right? But for me, the thought of moving is a nightmare. Okay, it's the same as if you move house, right? Just think about it. You've got to pack, you've got to do all of that, you've got to move, you've got to unpack, you can never find anything. You think, okay, I've got my kettle and my laptop right here, but it's never where you want it. Then you've got to get your phone line set up, and the whole nightmare of getting everything back to a working standard, right? That's exactly the same when you move businesses. And the saying goes, the grass is always greener on the other side. And it isn't, okay? The grass is greener where you water it most. And that goes for every area in your life. It's as simple as that, right? So yes, I know I'm coming over very serious today, and if it sounds like I'm giving you a lecture, trust me, I am not. This is not meant to be a lecture at all. But these are lessons that I learned the hard way, okay? And I want to share those with you so that even if, just one of you here gets it and actually works it out and becomes successful, that is enough for me. Okay, it truly is. So I'm not being sort of tough on you. I'm just giving you some very down-to-earth basic facts here, okay? So we talked about the shiny ball or the butterfly syndrome, right? I mentioned multiple streams of income there, okay? Here's the thing, right? What many people don't realize is that with multiple streams, listen, we know it's hard enough to market one business. Okay, why would we imagine in 1,000 years that it would be easy for us to build multiple streams of income? Again, if you are experienced, and for those who are experienced, fine, do that, right? But if you are constantly marketing, this, that, and the other to your list, they're going to become a very confused list, and they're not going to respect you for stability. Everybody wants stability, right? And if you're not going to provide that, then your list is going to and your peers will just not respect you as being somebody who is here to stay and here to make, to make things work. Okay. But also, talking about multiple streams of income, I'm just looking down at my notes here. Yes, I knew there was something really important that I almost forgot. You talk about multiple streams of income. In what we have, both in iPass and Empower Network, just with those two companies, one is the product provider, the other one is the marketing superstar front end kind of thing, and they gel together beautifully, right? Without going anywhere else, you have actually got multiple streams of income just within these two businesses. All the different packages you can sell and everything else. You've got residual income, you've got one-off incomes, you've got high-ticket incomes, you've got low-ticket income, you've got it all there, and you've got all the training and the how-to and everything else to be getting on with things and making a real success of things. Okay, so, those are all the things that I would suggest to you, you don't do, or, sorry, let me start again. Those are all the things that could be killing off your marketing and your productivity and your profitability. All right, but I never like to leave on a negative note. So let's talk about the solutions. Give me 1 second, and I want to see if there are any comments, but I'm scared of doing that. Okay, I'm not scared of the comments, sorry. I'm scared of losing this page again and losing all of you all. So yeah, that's what I'm scared of. I'm not scared of watching your comments. I will come in there and look at your comments and questions later on, all right? Okay, so things to do, right? So let's talk about the solutions. And I'm going to kind of talk about the conversation I had with this lovely gentleman who knew exactly, I expect fully to see him on the leaderboard fairly soon, right? He just had it all correct. All he had to do was implement it, right? But that's a big factor. So if he doesn't implement it, doesn't matter how much he knows, nothing's going to happen. But it was a really, really good conversation. And I remember going through it and thinking, gosh, I must talk about this on Boomer High one day, right? So the things to do, right? First of all, like I spoke to you before, in your mind, determine exactly who your target audience is, right? And then talk to that audience. Yeah, if you know that, if you're looking at baby boomers, if you're looking at mature professionals, right, you know what to talk about. You know, it's the kind of similar. We're all thinking about retirement. We all want to have enough money to retire on. We all probably have children, grandchildren that we want to be seeing more. We have health issues that we need to be coping with and preparing. Knowing that if something happens, we have an income. We all know that we are dispensable, right, in our jobs, if we are still in a job, right? All that kind of thing. So that's what, the fact that it is really, I was talking to another lovely gentleman, he was 67 years old, right? And he does hard manual labor for a living, really good at what he does, built up a lovely clientele, etc. But he said, Marion, my body is breaking down. I can't do this work any longer. And I haven't learned another trade. I haven't done anything else. I've just focused on this. And he'd gone through a life situation where he'd lost a lot of his income, etc., a lot of savings, etc. And he was looking for an alternative. And it is a sad but true fact that there are many, many people in that situation who will be looking for what you have to offer. Okay, so if you talk directly to that market, addressing their problems and providing a solution, that is the way to market. Okay, you may be unlikely, but you may be a young mum listening in on this program through sheer curiosity, in which case, welcome, good to have you here. But, again, you might want to target young mums. You may want to know that you never have to leave your kiddies and go to work. Right. You never have to leave them in daycare, never have to wonder if they are all right, never have to leave them with somebody else when they're ill. Right. Those kinds, you might want to homeschool your kiddies and wonder, gosh, what am I going to do about an income? Right. So you target specifically those areas. You could be a baby boomer wanting to work with young mums. Those are the issues you would target in that case. Right. So you see what I'm trying to say. So once you've created that avatar in your mind, then you will see results starting to happen. Okay. Then now let's talk about some practicalities, right? I see people starting every single day and they are so pumped up and so eager to get going that they jump steps. Okay, do not jump steps. Rome wasn't built in a day, and I know you want to start making money urgently, okay? But honestly, in this case, it is, what's that saying that goes, more haste, more haste, less waste, or something. No, more haste, more waste, isn't it? You don't want to waste any time, so don't be hasty. Follow the instructions. Okay, watch especially in the iPass back office and in Empower Network, there are videos there to show you exactly what to do. Do it step by step. When you're taken to a particular step, that means, okay, so this is where I've got to start, right? I've actually seen people start marketing without setting up their setup wizard. So they haven't set their system up to capture their leads, capture payments, etc., but they're already marketing. What a waste of time and energy. And I feel so bad for them because it's coming from a good point, but it's not serving them well. Okay, so whatever you do, don't be like me. You know, because I am technically capable, I am of the group that throws away the wrapping, throws away the instructions with the wrapping paper, and then will work things out for myself. Now, for me, that works well because I still go step by step, but I will investigate every single thing. And, you know, in no time at all, I've worked out exactly what I have to do. But even then, I will not go to the next step till I've worked out the first step. Okay, so be very, very aware of that, right? Then if there's any training to be had, now this is important, right? If there is any training that you should go on, and here's the thing, with these two communities, if anything, there are more chances of you feeling overwhelmed with the amount of training, etc. there is, than you feeling left out in the cold. Okay, but that brings its own problems, right? Where I would encourage you to do as much training as possible. Okay, however, be sure to implement that training before you move on to another training. Okay, and what am I talking about? There are so many different ways that you can market, right? You know, there's YouTube marketing, blogging, buying leads, you know, done for you marketing. There's all the social marketing stuff, Facebook marketing. It just carries on and on and on, right? And you actually get taught a lot of the main ones within these two communities, and taught from people who are millionaires, right? So it's well worth listening to. However, here's the thing, new people, and in fact, a lot of people who are still here often get it very wrong and feel that they have to implement every single bit of training that they're learning. So they run around in a complete state of panic because they've just heard about YouTube marketing and it all sounds wonderful. But now the next training from somebody else is about Facebook marketing, and they're thinking, right, now I've got to add this to this. Okay, here's a tip for you, right? The trainings that are in the back offices, I would cover them. However, cover them to the extent, first of all, where you're kind of breezing through them. Okay, and while you're doing so, get for yourself a feel for what you're going to really like. Okay, for me, I love videoing. I love video marketing, right? I love blogging. I love Facebook marketing, right? Anything that gets me out there and gets, you know, gets me interacting with people. I love that kind of thing, right? Given my way, I would actually have, you know, home meetings every weekend or something of that sort, but not being possible because, of course, we're an international business, right? The next best thing to that is me actually doing videos, which, you know, I'm talking to people exactly like I'm talking with you now. Yeah. So that's great for me. You know, get a feel for what you are going to like, what's going to be comfortable with you. Talk to your sponsor, see how effective that particular method is going to be. Ask for their experience on it, right? And then focus on and master one method before you move on to the other method and add another level to your marketing. Okay, so if you're going to do YouTube marketing, focus on that, get it completely right to the point that you're happy, you know, ask for your sponsors' feedback on it, be prepared to be, you know, critiqued honestly, because for somebody to just say, yes, you're wonderful, when you're not doing the right things, not good, you know, it's not going to help you at all. Okay, so ask for some honest critiquing from somebody you trust, and then take it from there. All right, once you're really good at that, then go on. I'll give you a little thing here about video marketing. Even though I like video marketing and straight away I knew that that was something I wanted to do, I must have done about 10 or 15 videos when I first started that will never see the light of day because they were so bad. Okay, so they kind of on my hard drive, and I occasionally take a look at them and I think, oh my word. But it's great fun because, you know, they are an example of how far I've come. I'm nowhere near where I want to be as yet. I'm still working on that and I'll get there. But I'm encouraged by how far I've come since I first started. Yeah. So don't be overwhelmed, don't be overawed by things. This is a journey you're on. So absolutely enjoy it. Right. Now, okay. So step by step, your training, we spoke about mastering the one thing. Yes. And daily action plans. We are in such a fortunate position that we get a daily action plan. Right. Some of our sponsors are sending it out, but iPass is also doing that. And I'm told that Empower Network for the new one is also going to be doing something along those lines. Right. For me, my biggest problem is deciding what of many things I want to do that particular day. Having a daily action plan completely takes that away, and I try and implement as much of it as I can each single day. Right. And that's going to build your business, build your momentum, build your leads coming in, build your own education, build the level of your knowledge, all of that. Okay. Initially, you will struggle, I'll tell you that now. But don't be overwhelmed again. If you truly can't do something, try and get at least some of that daily action plan done. And if you can't do anything of it, that's fine. Learn how to do the bits that you think, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm going to learn how to do this and I'll implement this every day. And then I'll add on another skill as long as this one, or as soon as this one isn't taking me that long. Okay, so do it that way. Do your 8 core commitments. Okay, Empower Network has 8 core commitments. Read all about them, implement them. They're very, very good at keeping your mindset at the right level, and that is really important. I actually saw one of the young leaders in Empower Network, Lawrence Tam, right? A lot of people know him, young millionaire again, and he actually said something that completely blew me away. And he said, you cannot achieve $1 million dream with a minimum wage work ethic, right? I'll say that again. You cannot achieve $1 million dream with a minimum wage work ethic, right? 100% true. Okay. And I know you don't have that because you're here, you're turning up and you're wanting to learn, you're eager to learn. And that is so important. So definitely go for the 8 core commitments. And yes, for a period, you will have to cut out all sorts of other things from your life, things that are pleasurable, going out, watching TV, all that kind of thing. But that's only for a little while. As Tony Robbins says, entrepreneurs do today what others won't, so they can live their tomorrows like others can't, right? And that's what, at our age, we're thinking about having those tomorrows that are kind of set up so that we don't have to worry. We can actually enjoy our tomorrows, yeah? So, right, let me just see. Okay. Focus, we've talked about that. So important that I want to mention it again, right? Focus on what you're doing, focus on what you should be doing, talk with somebody, get a plan, and focus on that, okay? Always be learning. Never, ever, ever feel that you're too old to be learning. Always be learning. Right. And I don't know if you all watch this. I watch a program, one of the very few TV programs I watch is actually one that's based in America. It's called the $1 million something. And it's about these estate agents. And $1 million something. And this one is called $1 million something, New York. $1 million listings, New York. That's the one. Right. And there's a guy there. I forget his name now. But his tagline is, his motto is to always be growing in all ways. Okay, and again, when people like say these things, I'm like, oh my gosh, and it really kind of strikes home. So always be growing in all ways. Okay, let me take. I don't want to keep you more than the hour, but yeah, that's important for you to, it doesn't matter. One thing that I find, that is a little bit of a tendency for us baby boomers, certainly me, right, is as we get older, if there are certain things that we can't do, well, we just we go around it. Right, like me, I still can't work out how to work my recorder, my video recorder, right? So what do? I call on my husband to do that, right? Not the dull thing at all. I really should master that. But again, I learn it, but then I forget it again because I don't use it all the time. Right. So be sure to be learning, to keep abreast of new developments, new technology, etc. Right. Be current, be relevant. Okay. That's really, really important. We've got so much knowledge and things behind us. For us to hide that behind our age and think, oh, I'm this old now, it doesn't matter kind of thing, we're actually depriving others of the knowledge and the experience that we can share with them. Yeah. So be sure to be learning always, right? Always look to be growing in all ways. Be coachable. And here again, I want to kind of put in a word for your sponsor. Okay, I have so many people saying to me, I'm really struggling, I can't contact my sponsor, she doesn't get back to me, or he doesn't get back to me, etc. Right? Have a thought for them. Okay. And I'm going to be very honest and blunt here, okay, because this is a biggie. There's different kinds of sponsors. If your sponsor has a training program or something like that, plug into it and be sure to be there. Be supportive. Be the one who's providing the solutions, not always the one who is, asking the questions and feeling sorry for yourself. Okay, let's think about sponsors now. They're exactly the same as you and me. These are people who, okay, I have come across some people who feel that because they have actually paid a certain amount, right, they've given money, that they have now bought that sponsor's time. Okay, here's the thing, that isn't the case. All right, what you have paid for are exactly the same products, exactly the same training that your sponsor paid for. And he, did the learning and everything else. And he put in his own time, he did the learning, and he's now reaping the rewards. Okay, bless that which you want to be. You want to be in that position someday, so feel really pleased for them. Go through the training yourself, learn the training, and then, if you have the odd question or so, shoot him a quick question, or, find somebody who will help you, or look for the answer again. All right. My sponsor walked out on me like the day after I paid over my money, right? But I realized, no, I've paid this money for these products. This is what I'm going to learn from. This is what it's all about. And I buckled down and learned about it. And trust me, I didn't have a list. I didn't even know what a list was, right? And I certainly didn't know anything about marketing online. The extent of my online experience at that time when I first started was I had an Amstrad computer on which I could send emails, right? That's how, how that was the level of my experience, right? And everything has come from me realizing that this is what I want to be doing. This is what's going to last. This is the thing that's going to lead me into the future. I want to be helping people with this, so I'm going to master it first so I can then help somebody else. Okay, so have that thought for your sponsor as well. They're only human. They have all the same issues that we have, and they could be fighting a million fires, and therefore Don't think badly of them if they don't get back to you. Learn to be self-sufficient. You will love it. You progress that much quicker that way. Okay. But also within this community, that's something I want to say to you. Within this community or these communities, iPass and Empower Network, there is no better place for a newbie to start learning, because somebody somewhere will answer you. Okay, be determined, plug into all the different trainings, into the different groups, go through the trainings yourself, look what's available and learn. All right, coming to an end, you'll be glad to know. Okay, so yeah, plug into everything that the iPass and Empower Network communities have to offer. Really, really important. Okay, and I want to actually end with this, and then I'll come over and look at the questions and any comments there. I want to encourage you, right, as a baby boomer. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know what you are facing. I don't know, what hand life has dealt to you, etc. But I want to encourage you to keep dreaming. Okay, I saw this thing somewhere and it's never left my mind. It is simply a little quote which says, your dreams do not come with an expiration date. If you have that dream, be sure to dream on, right? Make plans to achieve that dream. It's doable. Like I said, don't feel that you're irrelevant any longer. You're actually very, very relevant. And we all have, if all the life experiences we've had, we owe it to society to actually be out there, to be able to help others who are going through the same thing and need to know that there is another way of doing things, and there is life after this problem and life after that problem and life after this health issue, etc. All right. And dream big dreams. Okay, that's really, really important. Dream big dreams, dreams that actually make you think, on the one hand, you're thinking, right, this is what I want to do, da, 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 da. And on the other hand, the other half of your brain is telling you, are you crazy? Can you listen to what you're saying to yourself? Okay, those are the kind of dreams worth having, because you will work towards those. Okay, and with that, I'm going to end. I'm going to come over and just have a quick look at and see if there are any comments here. Give me just 2 seconds while I find you. Okay, I think I'm here. Okay, excellent. All right, I don't see any questions here. I hope that this has been helpful to you, everyone. And, these, Patrick obviously couldn't join because he must have had problems, with signals from there. But we will be on again next Wednesday, same time, 6 o'clock Eastern, right? I'm going to ask you all something here. If you're watching a recording of this, please don't forget to comment below. Let me know your best takeaway from it, right? And also the other thing is, we'd love to know what else you would find helpful. Okay, what would you find helpful in terms of what kind of training would you like? What topics would you like us to discuss? What format would you like us to discuss it in? Okay, that would be really, really helpful, because we want to be of service to you going forward. Yes, there are some things coming out and, a lot of new things coming out. We'd love to work with you on that. But we know that other people are doing that too. So we don't want, to give you the same thing in many different formats. So if you tell us what you want, that'll be great. And then, we'll follow through with that. All right. So Sue and everybody else who's been listening, thank you for spending time here with me. I hope that's helped. I hope that's given you some kind of, plan to work to, and I hope that's cleared up some kind of some questions for you, and I hope it's also given rise to other questions as well that you should be asking yourself. Okay, so with that, be blessed, have a wonderful day. Over and out from the United Kingdom. Have a great time, and I shall see you next week. Take care. Bye now. Bye-bye.